As we get situated, just a couple notes with today's win. Head coach Katie Crowley's Boston College Eagles have advanced to their seventh Frozen Four in the fifth in the last 6 seasons. The Eagles will be looking to claim their first NCAA title. Boston College will go to St. Charles, Missouri with a 28-5-5 record, the team's third best record in program history. So far this season, BC has won the Hockey East tournament, Hockey East regular season, and Beanpot titles. Boston College will now face the winner of the Wisconsin Robert Morris NCAA quarterfinal match next Friday at the Family Arena. Coach Crowley, if you could, an opening statement about today's game.
I thought, obviously I'm extremely happy. I thought our team played really well in that game. They did, and they have all year, done everything that we've asked of them. And I really thought that they showed that in this game. Playing a full 60 minutes and finding a way to put pucks in when we needed to. And I thought that really helped us go, really get in the groove and start playing our brand of hockey. So I'm obviously extremely happy. That team over there is a very good team. And I thought we just put a few more in before they did.
With that, we'll open up for questions. If you could just raise your hand, we'll get the microphone to you.
Hey, Coach, it's a tale of two different playoff scenarios where last week you have your special teams kind of take a back seat, and then today the special teams kind of started it going. So can you just talk a little bit about what it means to have the best special teams in the nation right now?
Yeah, I think we've learned through our years that special teams is really important in this game. Whether you're on the power play or penalty kill, you need a big save or you need a big goal. And that unit that scored, that goal by Kenzie, that was they put pressure on us right away on that penalty kill, and I think, or on the power play, and it threw us off, I think, a little bit. But they got to regroup a little bit and come back and score that goal. And I thought, all year that group has been extremely dangerous, and they found a way to get us started today.
Coach, also a lot of talk came in about that first line for St. Lawrence, and obviously deservedly so. But your first line also scored 3 goals today, and they were a big part of the win. Can you just talk about how underrated they might be this year?
I think Andy's a player that's been, actually Andy and Kenzie both have been underrated their whole career. And they're extremely dangerous when they have a player like McKenna Newkirk on their line. They know what it's like to be in these big games. They are big gamers. They have been this year for us, and I think they're, they were matched up with that other top line for a lot of the play today on purpose, because they played the D zone just as hard as they play on that offensive zone. So, we knew we were going to need them out there against a big line like they had. And I think they've done they did an amazing job.
And Coach, somebody told you last July that this team would be 2 games away from winning possibly a national championship. What would you have said?
Me personally, I'd say okay. I think we were a young team last year. We had some young players last year who got a lot of minutes, and they learned from those 6 seniors who graduated last year how to take care of things and get some things done. And, when you have a leader like Andy and Kristen Capizano and Megan Keller, they really have done a tremendous job with our younger players, teaching them, the ins and outs of how to play Boston College hockey, on the ice and off the ice. And I think they've done a tremendous job for us. And, I'm not saying I expected to be back here because it's a long road, but I'm not surprised that this team was able to get back here.
Coach, the statistics for St. Lawrence were amazing when they scored the first goal or if they didn't give up a power play, and you were able to stop that 21 minutes into the game. Was that a focus for you guys today?
We know that special teams is big, and when you get those opportunities and I thought we had a few in the first period and we didn't capitalize, not power play, but just scoring opportunities. And so sometimes when that happens, you can kind of go back on your heels and kind of be a little, hold your sticks a little tighter. But I thought they really stuck with it, and being able to find a way to put that power play goal in was, I think, huge for us. On the other side, we like to score first, and then I think we tend to settle into our game. So, again, I credit these players. They've done an unbelievable job for us.
And end of the game, Lonergan goes to the box for roughing. What did you say to her there?
I just said she has to kind of keep her head. Obviously, at that time, I think it was 5-0, and this is, I want her there for next Friday. So just to try to, stay out of the shenanigans a little bit and try not to take anything too offensive, and she did for the rest of the game.
First off, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Secondly, your team seems to completely buy into the fact that if you play your game, things are going to fall into place. Is that what the message is going to be this week?
Yeah, we talk about that a lot. If we play the way that we think we can play, and if we keep things simple, I think we can be in the game with anybody. I thought at first I thought we were a little hesitant today, but I thought we fell into our rhythm and started playing Boston College hockey, and you saw that in the second period, putting pucks to the net, and we created things. That will certainly continue to be the message for our team.
Coach, we've talked about both teams' first lines today, but, Haley had a goal today. Megan's coming from the blue line with a goal. Kristen with one, too. Even with all the departures you had last year and then, Tony and Tori this year, how important has building that depth been for this team, especially moving forward?
It's been super important. We've been able, through this whole year, to use a lot of different players in different situations, and they've been able to grow into those roles. And I think, again, I'll go back to our leaders and our captains, who I think have done a great job with helping people understand their role and helping people play into their role. But we've really, like I said, just been in situations where we've needed to use people, and they've stepped up, and that's happened all year long for us, and hopefully it continues to happen.
Coach, especially in the first period where it took you maybe a little bit longer to get into the game than you would have wanted. How big was Katie coming up with some big saves, 11 in the first period?
I thought Katie Barrett was unbelievable. I think she's an unbelievable goaltender. She gives us a chance every day, every game, and comes up with a big save when we need her to in big games. And she's been like that for 3 years. And I'm just proud of her and how she's developed over the last 3 years, and how she's really taken on a role where she knows that she can help our team win. And like I said, I started it with it. She's an unbelievable goaltender, and we're going to need her. We're going to need her moving forward here in this weekend.
Andy, it seems like we're doing this a little too much recently.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's a good thing for you guys, right? A big night, 6 goals against a really tough St. Lawrence team. KB makes a bunch of big saves. Kenzie gets it started. Can you just talk about your teammates sitting beside you today?
Both of them were unreal today. Yes, they played awesome. I mean, Bert's always back there, and we know she's back there and she's going to make big saves, and that just pushes us more to, go out there and score goals, because one thing she can't do, I mean, maybe, but she can't really score goals, so we do that for her. And Kenzie is one of the players who does everything right. She's always out there, forechecking. She gets the puck in. I don't know, she does some little cross moves and always gets the puck somehow. And I think she is such an underrated player, but is so good. Amazing.
Thanks.
Kenzie, can you just take us through that first period score? It kind of gave the team momentum, but it seems like all season long you've shined in the right time, right moments. Can you just take us through that start?
McKenna had the puck, or Callie had the puck, passed it to McKenna, and she was going in. Thought she was going to slow up a little, so I was trying to go to the net, and all of a sudden the puck was on my stick. I didn't even know she was going to pass it to me, because I didn't even see the opening like she did. And then I knew I had to put it in.
I guess it's for anybody. It was nice to have after the last two games, with the went into overtime so much that have a little bit more of a blowout this time. And also, what does it say about your depth and balance that you have 6 goal scorers today for a 6-0 win?
Andy, if we can start with you, we'll go right to
Okay. I mean, it's huge to have a goal come from someone, like each goal someone else scored. So that's awesome to know that no matter what line we put on the ice or the D pair out on the ice, like there's always a chance that the puck's gonna go in the net. We're not just throwing people out just to be like, oh, you go, just make sure you get it deep and then get off and we'll get someone else out with fresh legs. So it's huge having that depth and people, like we got lines or goals from, a couple goals like when the third line was out there, and that's just, and even a couple shorthanded goals. So it's just awesome to see that we can put pucks in no matter what.
Yeah, I agree with what Andy said. I think it was huge for us to win by that many goals. I think we're hitting the perfect stride at the perfect moment.
No, I mean, it's good. It's great when we can put a few in early, rather than wait till, overtime or the third period. So it definitely gives me a lot of confidence when we put a few in early and get a lead. So it helps me out a ton.
Katie, in that first period, you faced 11 shots, stifled all of them. Can you just talk about how big your performance is going to be going into the rest of the tournament? And also, can you just take us through that second period save where you kind of did a split to block it?
Yeah. What was the first question? Sorry.
Just knowing that you have a big test in the last 2 games and that you've been there before last year, how's that going to help you preparing for the next 2 games coming up?
It's huge. Having confidence going into the Frozen Four is gonna be really important for me. I'm a goalie that relies a lot on confidence. Just so having that experience being there will be really important for me. And then that save, I have no idea what happened. I just I knew it. She passed it out front, and I knew the girl was a lefty, so I didn't quite think that she would tuck it far side. So I kind of just tried to. My momentum was taking me to the left, but I kind of just tried to spread eagle, just everything on the ice. I mean, it really hurt though. So it was fun. It was a fun time. I'll move that way.
Andy, what was the talk at the end of the first period? It's 1-0. It's still a close game, but something changed there coming out into the second period. So what did Coach say, and what was the atmosphere in the locker room coming out for the second period?
We talked about how, like, the last 5 minutes of the first, like, we felt more like ourselves, BC hockey, and I think that's just part of, like, everyone's got nerves going into a game like this, and it's a big thing. And so going out into that second period is like, let's get back to playing BC hockey, getting the puck deep, forechecking hard, and putting pucks to the net, which I think we did pretty well with that.
And Andy, as a leader of this team, you're going into the Frozen Four. It's either Wisconsin or Robert Morris. What do you have to do, or what does BC have to do to prepare for one of those 2 teams?
We really gotta. I mean, obviously we'll look at that team and see what their tendencies are, like forechecking, D-zone, and all that type of stuff. But really focusing on ourselves and getting ready and preparing hard for those games. So coming in on Monday for practice and being focused for the 2 hours, 3 hours that we're at the rink.
Kenzie, aside from the first period goal, a career high 5 points for you today. What do you think was clicking for you on the day?
I don't know. I just knew this is a huge game, and one thing that I never really thought about in the last game was we went into double overtime, and my dad had mentioned to me after the game, like, wow, that could have been Andy and all the seniors, like, last game ever. So going into this game, that kind of was in the back of my head the entire time. I just really wanted to do it for our team, and especially Andy and Haley and Cappy.
Andy, with all the departures last year, plus Tony and Tori this year, did you expect to be back in this spot and competing for another Frozen Four right now?
Yeah. I mean, obviously we knew it was going to be a tougher fight, and it was going to be like other people are going to have to step up and be ready to go. But it was always in everyone's back of the head that this is what we're going to get back to that Frozen Four spot and obviously try to win the whole thing.